Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ming Chen from Comic Book Ben, and you're listening to Best Threesome Ever. Find Best Threesome Ever on Facebook. Search Best Threesome Ever. That's 3 with the number 3. It is my favorite podcast.
Welcome to Best Threesome Ever, a podcast discussing all things revolving around nerdy pop culture. Probably not what you were expecting, but it's just as fun. Now here are your hosts, Nick, Rob, and Kevin.
Do you know my new friend, Dildy the Clown?
Dress it up on different holidays.
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing dildo man.
All right, here we go. Best Threesome Ever, episode 123, brought to you by Heroic Goods and Games and Jabbered Wines. I'm Nick.
All right, here we go. Best threesome ever. Oh, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm Rob.
I'm Kevin. Jesus Christ.
Right off the rails, kids. Right off the rails.
Yeah. You know how many takes he did to do the intro? 17.
It was one.
It was 17. Who are you going to believe?
Technically, it was 2 because you count the bad take and then the good take.
Technically, it was 3. Since
Mr. Director.
I did one bad one and one good one.
And then I did a take, therefore it's 3.
I don't care about you, though.
I don't care about you either.
I thought we established it like 2 podcasts ago.
If you had kept going with it, I was going to go somewhere complete. Like, I was still going to do this big old intro for a show, but it wasn't going to be ours.
DJ Sturge. Sturge.
If I had listened to him and actually memorized what he said,
like absorbed the information.
Absorbed the information
123 times now.
Yeah, instead of being so excited about me doing my stupid bit, like, yeah, I probably could have gotten there, but I didn't.
So there you go, folks. And what did we learn from this?
Rob doesn't
Absolutely
commit.
nothing.
Well, behind the curtain action.
Yeah, right. Well, probably as many as you know, we recorded a little early before we post, but happy St. Patty's Day, for everybody out there. Hope everybody's having a
We hope you had a
safe-
good, fun, safe St. Patty's Day if you celebrate. If not, happy Wednesday.
I worked, and it's not like any of the really fun stuff is going on. So
Right.
Yeah, I worked too. I did a little work and then.
But often I like to go out, maybe even take the day off if it's on a weekday, hang out with Mike and all of his shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. Mike's shenanigans are ridiculous.
Yeah, he goes hard for St. Patrick's Day.
He
man.
sure does. I will pass on that, but
It's pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Was it?
Yeah, there's some pretty great pictures of us in like the St. Patrick's Day parade and stuff.
yeah, but like I'm a 60-year-old man.
Yeah.
You are.
Kinda, yeah. I'm a little bit of a grumpy puss.
And I am also incredibly in pandemic shape, which is to say, not at all in shape.
Yeah.
The worst shape of my life. So that definitely would affect my ability to go do
Stuff and things.
yeah, like fun party related activities when I just want like, I want to go home. My feet are tired. This beer is expensive.
It is fucking expensive.
Why is this Coors Light $6.50?
And it comes in a can.
A little
yet
plastic clear,
Oh, God.
not even a solo cup. The world's flimsiest fucking no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
And it's green.
I remember one year, buddy of mine decided to go to O'Gara's on St. Patty's Day.
Oof.
Right? It was that night. And like a can of like beer was like $7.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is the fucking Metrodome? Come on.
Supply and demand.
And it wasn't even, it was like Mick Golden Light. Like,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh, man. $7.
Besides, I don't think any St. Patrick's Day will ever beat St. Patrick's Day 2007.
2017 was a pretty good St. Patty's Day for Nick.
I've had some pretty good ones, but 2007 I think takes the tacos.
Yeah. 2017 for me. Rob?
2013, 14? Which one was the really nice one? The like 68 degree
That was the one where I was in the parade with Mark. Who the fuck's Mark? With Mike, and it was.
Hi, Mark.
It's my dad. Asshole.
I want to say probably 2012.
2012?
Because it was before I was with Crystal.
Okay. So,
But I'm pretty sure after Erica.
Okay. So then that would be...
that's how I keep time.
That's...
Fine.
I don't know what you're talking about. So 2012. Yeah, that would have been the year for me because that was really, really nice weather, and it was one of the first years we were out there with the pedicabs, and I made
Nice.
bank!
Nice. 2017 for me, I made out with a really hot redhead for quite a long time.
Yeah, hot
Atta boy.
redheads.
Got a little naughty in the middle of a bar.
Yeah, a little naughty.
It was fun. And then her friend, and then we were talking to each other and going around to different things. And then her friend was like, why are you following us around? I'm like, all right, fine, fuck you. And I left. And she texted me later. She's like, why'd you leave? I'm like, your friend said why it was kind of mean. And I was like, I didn't want to be that guy. And I just decided if you're being annoyed, I'm going to just walk away. So, okay. She's like, we didn't have to. And then her phone died and then we never talked. Good story.
That was a good story.
That was also the year that I had that was the year I did two threesomes in 1 month.
Attaboy.
I'm very proud of you. I know. Thanks. That was a good time. That was good. That was a good month. Okay. I don't care, Rob.
That's why I wasn't saying anything.
So this episode's going to be all about WandaVision.
Sure is.
When it's not about Nick Johnson.
I didn't even mention my penis.
You in a roundabout way you did.
I
got a little naughty in the bar. We all know that means that people in the bar saw your penis.
Nope.
All those threesomes
For one
you
time,
had,
for one
the
time,
ghost penis.
For one time, my dick was not out in a bar. Maybe twice. Second time, maybe. Wait, does that not sound better? Does that sound worse?
It's way worse.
Damn it.
No, it's fine. Whatever.
There's a there's a story there. Anyways, WandaVision. We're gonna talk about WandaVision. We'll probably should we do Nerd Grabs first and then talk about WandaVision, or should we? I mean, I know it's a little out of character, but I mean,
I have no problems with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
all right. Let's do Nerd Grabs first, just so if people haven't caught up on WandaVision, they can at least hear about the nerdy shit that we've bought in the past couple weeks, and then. They can, if they've caught up on WandaVision, they can listen to us talk about it.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first? Anyone go first?
I don't know, Nick. I don't know.
What?
Who do you think should go first?
I don't know. What are you looking at there, Rob? Are you looking at something big and hard and tall?
Yeah, Rob,
And
go
we're
first.
back to your penis.
Yeah, Rob, go first.
Yeah, Rob, go first.
I was gesturing and sort of like motioning us
Undulating?
that way because undulating. Sure, I was undulating in the direction of Nick because I couldn't think of anything. off
Gently
the top of my head.
gesticulating.
Gently gesticulating. Gently, undulatingly gesticulating.
Gesticulating. It was a theater warm-up we did. Stood on the balcony, gently gesticulating and amicably welcoming them in.
Pooping into my cupped hands.
No. Wait a minute.
That should be the new
In
theater
honor
warm-up.
of St. Patrick's Day, sir.
Do it as an Irish.
Do your best bad Irish.
Oh, my best bad Irish.
Yes.
Okay.
You're drunken
full
Irish.
full Lucky Charms. Ready? And action.
Oh, pooping into my cupped hands. That's the best bad Irish I can get.
That was pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
All right.
That's when you're okay at something, doing it badly takes a lot of effort.
I'm aware.
That's why when good actors have to be a character who's in something acting badly, it's always like a nightmare to watch.
Yep.
Right, you can overact. It's easy to even if you're a good actor, you can overact really easily, right?
Yeah.
Right. But I was thinking about that a while ago, but singing, we're all pretty good singers. We all have pretty good pitch. We have pretty good tone. It's hard for me to sing badly. I can't not sing a song that's out of key.
So it's really easy for me to sing badly. It's really hard for me to sing authentically bad.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's where I figured you were going with that. I can sing bad, but I can't sing authentically bad.
Right, yeah.
I can be over the top bad.
Right.
I can be real bad over the top.
Overacting,
Overact the shit out of some bad singing. Absolutely. But being authentically bad is really hard for me because my brain just kicks in and is like, no, you got to correct that. You can't do that. Posture, throat, Stop it.
Open her throat a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
Don't forget the balls.
yeah. But yeah, like I get what you're saying about that is like doing a bad Irish accent when you're actually. Now okay. You know what? For comparison, shall we hear your good one?
I feel like pooping into my cupped hands is it's a difficult phrase to do in another accent and have it be wildly different.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because it's already such like an over the. I'm already saying it in such an over the top fashion.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Anyways, nerd grabs.
Right.
Rob.
Oh, I was supposed to be thinking of what the fuck I got, didn't I?
Yeah, you were.
What did I get anything? Fuck, I don't know. It's not my nerd grab. It's gonna be someone else's nerd grab in like a couple weeks when it's her birthday. But my Stimmy Boy showed up, and the first thing I did was buy Joanna a camera.
Hope she doesn't listen to this podcast.
She doesn't.
All right, sweet.
Yeah.
Watch, this will be the one.
She also knows that I'm getting her a camera because this morning, because we'd been talking about it like a couple months back, and she was having kind of a bad time, and I was like, you know what? I'll just tell you right now. Like, because we were talking about cameras and stuff and photography, and she was just like, man, I just kind of miss it. I'm like, okay, cool. So for your birthday this year, I'll get you a camera. What do you want? And she told me, and I was like, all right, awesome. That's what you're getting for your birthday. So, like, she's already known for months,
Right.
that this is what I was going to do. Fair enough. And but then this morning, I got the stimulus in, and I was searching my phone for where the hell I kept the information for the camera. Couldn't find it. So I had to go right into the bathroom, claim defeat, and go, what's the name of the brand of the camera that you like? And she just looked at me with the surprise on her face of like, oh, that's right. Like, she had forgotten completely that. That's the worst part.
That sucks.
Right? It's fucking like, because like it was my worst fears coming true in that moment of like, I'm gonna spoil it for her because she's completely forgotten that we talked about this. And
way to go, Rob's brain.
It's fun too because like as soon as she told me the brand and the model,
You found it.
it was right there in my Google search. Yeah. Yep. Right there in my Google search. It was exactly the Google search I used to buy the camera.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah. Yeah. I was so upset.
That's all right.
Anyways, so yeah, I bought her a camera. It's
There you
a
go.
Canon Rebel.
Revel. Does
Yeah.
it come with a little Rebel symbol on it? Because that'd be awesome.
Rebel or Revel?
Rebel.
Okay, just checking.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
My enunciation was shit.
Well, enunciate better.
Okay.
Fucking guy. This fucking guy. I swear to God.
Wasn't
Kevin.
an overly difficult sentence.
Kevin.
I got a couple things. Over the weekend, I decided to change up my phone.
Yeah, you did.
I left Sprint and went to T-Mobile,
Attaboy.
which are technically the same.
Yeah.
And you're actually not supposed to be able to do that, but the reps at T-Mobile have found ways around it.
Because they're awesome.
Because they're not merged, they're kind of shared. So it's
Sprint is sharing off of T-Mobile's towers.
yeah,
Right.
and so it's different. But yeah, so they were able to do that for me, and I got the OnePlus 8T. I decided to go off-brand and go with it's a community-owned cell phone company, and it is a dope phone. It has 256 gigs of storage. Like, what am I going to use that?
Porn.
Yeah, like 100 camera lenses. The pictures on this thing are ridiculous. Yeah, I really like it, and so it's nice being back on T-Mobile, and there you go.
Yeah, I made the switch from Sprint to T-Mobile and was much happier.
And then I ordered a case and screen protectors for it, and I was like, well, I don't want to just get that. I should get one more thing to add to my box. And so I got a I got a hardcover of the House of X storyline
from recent X-Men.
Yeah.
It's only a couple years old now.
Yeah, and it's the full one, so it's both House of X and Powers.
Oh, it is?
Yep, it's both.
Is it chronological? Like, does it go in the order of the issues?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
I might have to borrow that then.
I'm very excited to sit down and read it. Because I hear the storyline is super good. So.
Yeah, that's
sweet.
So I super dig my Marvel Unlimited subscription, but like, there's something about holding a comic in your hands that is like it's the same.
Nostalgic.
Yeah, it's the same issue though with like ebooks and stuff for me. Like the images and the colors are crisper on my tablet, but like at the same time, it just there's something nice about holding a comic book and flipping through it.
Yeah.
But anyways,
anything else, Kevin? The sweet hoodie you're wearing.
Yeah, so I picked up this gigantic Pink Floyd hoodie. Like I swim in it, and that takes a lot.
But it's so cool.
It's a really cool, very soft. It's a super comfy Pink Floyd hoodie where it's the whole motif is the wall, and in the middle is the light beam going through the
prism.
Yeah.
It's a sweet dude. It looks fucking sweet.
Yeah, so for listeners, he's basically wearing the cover of the album The Wall, but instead of like the hole where the name Pink Floyd's The Wall is, it's the Dark Side of the Moon cover.
Yeah. That's fucking sweet.
Yeah, it's a dope hoodie. But yeah, I have not purchased anything huge with my stimulus yet. I did make one small purchase, and that was to get a display stand for all of my kyber crystals.
Nerd.
And then
nice.
It'll also hold my Temple Guard lightsaber staff eventually.
Funny story. So I was figuring out, like, I was like, oh, I was so set on like displaying how I was going to display all my lightsabers, and then I got talking to this guy at work who does a lot of like fabricating and woodworking and stuff, and he's like, well, you could do this and you could do that and you could do this. I'm like, god damn it, you motherfucker, now I'm gonna have to like redesign it because now I have all these different ideas. I'm like, fucker. So anyways,
yeah, and so I was talking to Luke about my next tattoo,
yeah?
And he's like, well, you just need to pick the style. I'm like, I don't understand the question, it's just lines.
You're
all right,
you're Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Nah. What do you mean style?
Yeah, he asked me what style. He's
You sent him the photo?
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you just need to pick a style. I'm like, what do you mean? But I don't want to ask that because I want to sound like an idiot.
You just didn't just say I just wanted like how it is on the photo.
I would ask. Just say,
I mean, I told him I wanted like a different color.
Okay.
Sure.
What's the pictures in a different color then? You want?
Yeah, because I'm thinking about doing like maybe a light purple or something like that.
Sure.
Light purple?
Yeah.
That's wrong, Mr. Connery. Light purple is not even a color.
I can't even fucking find the email from him now.
It's funny. Funny joke. Funny hat. Wearing a hat.
Yeah, that's all I got. What do you got, Nick?
Speaking of tattoos, speaking of Luke, Luke did some nice artwork on me.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
It's just hiding there.
He's hiding there. It's a little blue space Lego man with some space around him.
Space!
And people think, they're like, you got it from Lego movie. No, fuck the Lego movie. No, it's because I played with Legos as a kid, and the blue spaceman with a broken helmet, mind you, because the blue spaceman always had a fucking broken helmet.
He did.
And I played with Legos as a kid, and this was totally reminiscent of my childhood. And my favorite part, although it is done phenomenally, and I think it's definitely one of my most detailed tattoos, in the legs, because the Lego man had little spaces in the back where you could like sit him down on the pegs and stuff. He left the spots open where the holes are, and so you can see my skin through it, which is a very small detail, but like it's little things like that really I think
make him such a good fucking artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said so here's what he said. He said there's a lot we can do: cutout, embedded, stone, digital. I'm like, I don't know what any of this means.
By the way, Luke listens to this.
Good. What does that mean? I'm an idiot. Pretend I'm stupid.
I was going to tell you to tell him that in an email, but podcast form works too.
Yeah, well, now he knows. But yeah, so he did this.
I'll probably get back to him before this even airs, and he's going to listen and go, you idiot.
And it looks, I really like it. I think it looks good. And then we talked about filling in the rest of everything else. So
yeah.
I'm filling in the nerd sleeve pretty good. And then tomorrow, actually, he's going to finish the other one because we ran out of time. But I'm going to get the Harlequin/Harley Quinn arm tattoo. So it's be black and red, which will match all my other black and red. Wrap around my right forearm a little bit.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. And then I spent some of my plasma money. I got a little printer. I got a little 3D printer, little under 3 Pro.
Yeah.
I really like it. It took me an aggravating amount of time to figure out how to level the fucking thing. But thank you, Sean, in England, who helped me keep my sanity and helped me walk me through leveling the fucking thing.
Interesting question for you.
Yes, sir.
So you know how did yours come with like an extra screw of each type?
Yes, I think so.
Do you still have them?
Yes.
Because mine didn't come with the screws to attach the power supply unit.
Really?
So the mid-level fathead ones.
Oh, I don't know if I have. Well, look through this bag because this is all the stuff that I've left over.
I'm gonna.
If they're
Yeah, and I'm really pissed, and I have to go to like a fucking hardware store. So I'm not going to steal your tips or anything. Shut up.
So it took me forever to fucking set that fucker up. Mainly leveling it because it took forever. But I finally got. Did you find them?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Well, one, but you know that's
one's better than none.
one is better than none.
But at least you can take that to the hardware store and get exactly what you need.
There you go.
Exactly.
So I printed some little grenades for my pulse rifle from the aliens, and they're different numbers because they're different styles. Because Thingiverse had like 6 different styles. So yeah, and I printed some things for some people at work, and I'm gonna just start printing shit for me because. Oh man, there's a lot of shit on Thingiverse I don't want to print.
I'm gonna print so many fucking D&D minis, and then I want to do a better version of my Darth Nihilus mask.
Nice.
So I'm gonna print that out and paint it. And
Nice.
I was going to say, I would like a mask.
I was just-
if either of you would be willing.
Sure. I was thinking about writing a movie about like a short film. Like it'd be like it looks like a big action movie, but then it just turns out they're the fucking minis, and then they're like, "Oh, kids got to go to lunch," and then they're just like, "Eh."
I think I'd write like a horror movie about the 3D printer comes alive.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It 3D prints your death.
Carrie point two. No, what was the name of that one with the car that came out? Christine. That's right.
God damn it!
Carrie, Christine.
That came out. That was the #1 movie the month I was born.
And I remember seeing that movie, and I was like, "This movie's stupid." And then there was another one with Emilio Estevez when it was like a truck came to life.
Maximum Overdrive.
That's it. Yeah, it like
Directed by Stephen King.
looked like the fucking Green Goblin, but
And
wasn't the Green Goblin.
Frequently got it confused with Free Jack.
Yeah.
That was called because it had like when he goes to the future.
Yep.
There's that truck
Yep.
that almost hits
Yep.
him, and for some reason, my kid mind melded those until I saw them both again. I'm like, these are
2 separate movies.
completely different.
Yep, I did the exact same thing because once again, USA Up All Night with Rhonda Shear, and sometimes Gilbert Godfrey show those movies often. So
It's because they weren't very good.
well, that was what they were known for, not showing very good movies. It also was a big. I don't want to say sexual awakening, but there's a lot of movies on there that were like,
Yeah, Gilbert Godfrey was my sexual awakening too. I'm gonna claim that ass! He exclaimed.
no, the movies they showed. Some of them were naughty.
Sorry about your
Damn.
the levels.
Sorry, future me.
Spike the shit out of that.
I now want to hear.
Pooping into my cup man is
Seriously?
Gilbert Godfrey.
No, I'm gonna fucking do it then
All right, fine.
because I haven't done my Godfrey in a while. Pooping into my cupped hands.
Yeah,
There you go.
there you go.
I'm upset that I just did the facial expressions.
That's
too.
all- you-
I'm not upset that you did the facial
You
expression.
kind of have to do a
It
good.
feels like
You
it's,
can't do Gilbert Godfrey without
without
scrunching your whole
scrunching
like
your
you
whole
just
face.
ate a lemon, and that's how you make the voice.
And then you see him with like when he's not making that face. You're like, who the fuck is that? And you're like, oh, it's Gilbert Godfrey. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
There was a stand-up thing. Was a mini series on with Dave Attell and somebody else. Like that guy. Who's the guy that does all the roasts? Jeff Ross. Jeff Ross. It was like them doing a stand-up, and they would have like famous people, and Gilbert Godfrey was in their audience.
was it like the late night one or after hours or walk?
It was a recent one where they're like in this
okay,
like little tiny bar, but like Tom Cruise is in the audience one night when they're just doing stand up, and they're making fun of stand up or Tom Cruise, and
They're probably making fun of stand-up.
Bob
too.
Saget was in the audience one night, and Gilbert Godfrey was there. It was kind of, I forget what it was on though. It was kind of a fun show to watch though.
So it's just a collection of the best
Yeah,
aristocrats, jokes tellers. Cool.
kind of, except for Tom Cruise.
Well, yeah, and Tom Cruise.
Right, and Tom Cruise.
You
Anyway,
said Bob Saget. And
well, he was in
Gilbert
the
Godfrey.
audience.
Yeah, but like,
His comedy's actually pretty funny.
His comedy is Yeah.
Back in the day, if you use 90s standards.
Sure, I suppose then, but like, I don't know. His more recent stuff is pretty good too, but like,
His old stuff was raunchy as fuck.
yeah, that's
Very much not Danny
Full House,
Tanner.
yeah.
Yeah, his mid 2000s work is super run, and he says some stuff about the twins, and it's just like, oh, that's uncomfortable, man.
And then you forget that, speaking of WandaVision, Elizabeth Olsen is actually younger than the twins.
Yeah, she's the younger sister.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people don't know that. They think she's the older sister.
Because she seems so well adjusted, and they're not.
Right. And she seems,
And because we met her as an adult, I think
Yeah.
that's where your
Yeah.
mind goes.
it's true. It's very true.
That might be it. Well,
So
that
speaking of
seems-
that, WandaVision, that was a good segue. Thanks, Nick. You're welcome.
Jesus Christ.
Like I totally took credit for that, Rob.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I had a moment. I was just gonna let us get through a segue, like
And I stole you.
seamlessly for once.
No, never.
Speaking of the Olsen sisters, WandaVision.
Thanks, Kevin. That was a good segue.
Speaking of Bob Saget, WandaVision.
So WandaVision, guys. We're going to talk about the whole series. So if you haven't seen it, we're going to spoil the shit out of it. So don't listen any farther than this.
Yeah.
If you have, listen in, talk, comment, leave us questions or comments about what you think about what we say about it.
Yeah,
please do.
We like to interact with you guys. So by all means,
We should maybe
talk
figure out.
shit. We don't mind.
We should maybe figure out like a segment where people write in or something.
We should. People have suggested doing this live, and I'm like, I would love to. We've done this live once.
A few times.
Right. Well, yeah.
Oh, you mean internet live? That's
Right,
different.
yeah, like internet live while we do it. And most of the time it would work out, but sometimes there's shit we got to cut out that we shouldn't talk about. So, and that's fine. But we just have to. I think we act better when we do live.
Yeah.
You know, we don't get too personal because sometimes we say personal shit that needs to be cut out, which is fine.
It's okay.
Which is fine. We're friends.
Mr. Black.
Exactly. So I wanted to start out overall. Just give me your general overall. Did you like it? Did you hate it? But don't go into too much detail. But just like your overall of the series, was it what you expected? Did it fit the Marvel key? And did you like it or hate it, Rob?
Okay, so let's. It was the first one again.
Did it?
Was it what I expected?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I couldn't brain think.
Yeah,
I should have wrote
that's
this down
You
while I
should have
was-
written
I
this
shouldn't.
down.
I should've.
Consummate professionals, folks.
Yeah, no kidding. Was it what I expected? No, it absolutely was not what I was expecting. Did it play into
The Marvel Universe.
the Marvel Universe? Yeah, absolutely. It played in the Marvel Universe. I think it did a great job of that, and it's a worthy inclusion into the MCU as its own standalone piece. I think it's perfect. It's great that Wanda and Vision got their own movie essentially, but their movie's fucking long.
Yeah.
Love it.
Like it, hate it.
Like it, hate it. I liked it. I really did like it. And I think there were parts of it that like I had to struggle with a little bit because I had built up these perceptions in my mind,
Right.
based on what it was, what story they were telling, and then my personal feelings towards the comics and the comic storylines that they were using and pulling from, and so
Were you super familiar with the comics that they pulled from?
yeah. But I think that's because they're both very famous. Like, well, they pulled from several, but the two main ones was three main ones. I guess. Well, just two really. Vision Quest. I'm sorry, not Vision Quest. Scarlet Witch and the Vision limited series, and then House of X. Sorry, House of M. We were just talking about House of X.
Yeah.
Do you remember what year those roughly came out?
House of M
came out in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it was mid-
2003-ish.
2003, 2004.
I think it was all in college.
Yep, and it was just before Civil War because that was the next big crossover after House of M. And Scarlet Witch and the Vision came out
2005.
90s, but maybe also late 2000s. I'm not sure. Either way, like those are the two big ones they've been pulling from. So like, I liked it. I
was like,
was struggling.
Yeah, there's a button there.
But I struggled with the fact that it didn't quite live up to the expectations I had from those comic storylines. And obviously I should know better because they don't translate the comics directly ever.
Right.
They don't. And they shouldn't because it's its own story and that's fine. But I did struggle a little bit with not getting the ending I wanted from House of M. And the dirty deed done dirt Pete. But anyways.
Kevin?
Sad that Quicksilver was some guy with the last name of Boner.
That was my sentence.
That's quick
Dirty
Pete.
deed done dirt Pete.
Pete Boner.
Was it what you expected?
Obviously not. But going into it from the beginning, I had no expectations. Once we hit about that halfway point, I had all sorts of expectations. It didn't really live up to any of them other than my expectation of it leading into Doctor Strange.
Okay.
So that it certainly lived up to.
Marvelverse?
Yeah. The Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
He's going down his list.
Yeah. And then... it fits in great. To the point of where if I was doing a full MCU watch, that's probably the only show I would include. I wouldn't do any of the Netflix ones.
No Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No Runaways, none of it. But that one I would because it's the only show that I feel is really sophisticatedly connected.
Okay.
To the MCU films.
Yeah, it's absolutely
if you cut out all the credits, it's only about 3.5 hours long, so it's not too bad.
It's about a movie. And you're very familiar with the comics?
I'm sort of familiar. I've read all of House of M, and I've read bits and pieces of Scarlet and Vision, and literally, I think I've read 2 comics of it, but so I'm not as familiar with that one. So I didn't have as much of an expectation from that side of things.
Sure.
The Happy Homemaker stuff is where that comes from.
Yeah, and that's where I've read a little bit of that. So, but yeah, I think Kathryn Hahn has been an incredible addition to the MCU supervillains. Yes, I realize that in the comics she's not as much of a villain as much as she is a neutral party who just sort of does what she thinks is best for she. But
and she's also a mentor to Wanda in the comics.
They touched on that a little bit.
She had that nice little a bit of a throwaway line, but the line where she's like, "So thanks for teaching me the lesson."
Yeah.
I think this is a good moment right here. To attempt to put my foot in my mouth.
Yeah.
All right. Nick.
Yes.
I believe I owe you an apology.
You don't owe me an apology.
I think I do, though.
I think you do.
Pretty sure I do.
We have speculations, and sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong.
Yeah, but
I thought we went over this.
We did a little bit.
But we were trying to avoid the obvious spoiler at the time.
Wait, before you do that, like it or hate it. Let's finish Kevin's.
Loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
Because it didn't meet what I thought was going to happen doesn't mean I automatically turn around and start hating it because I'm not a sexless chud.
Yeah.
I'm glad you addressed that. Thank you.
I still enjoyed it because even though it wasn't what I expected it to be. People who talk about the Star Wars sequel movies.
Huh.
Weird. You think they're the same people, same group of people?
So real quick here.
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to be sorry. I don't feel you have to be sorry. But thank you. I appreciate it.
You threw out a theory that at the time was perfectly reasonable, and I shit on it because I've listened to the episode. I was just like, nah, this shit's stupid. There's no way Agnes is Agatha. That's too easy. They're fucking hokey. That'd be a hacky move. They're not going to do that. And sure enough, Agatha was A, fucking Agnes, and B, it wasn't hacky. And that's my thing is I assumed that if they did it, it was going to be hacky and it was going to be kind of it was just too obvious and it felt like more of a red herring, honestly. There is a hacky thing I think they did in the show, and Kevin's already touched on it. dirty thing they did to Pietro.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Yeah.
They did Pietro dirty.
They set us up hard just to kind of turn him into a dick joke, and that depressed me. But
It was sad.
No.
having him there, I still enjoyed because he is a great actor, and you can tell he was having fun with it. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
his last name's Boner, and I got Proton, so whatever.
Yeah.
And now they just need to make a spin-off show about her and fucking Kat Dennings and fucking
Jimmy Woo.
Jimmy Woo, Kat Dennings, and Proton. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I'd enjoy that. So, and then the question was asked, did I come up with it on my own? And the answer is yes and no. Because Kevin brought up the point that was like, that was kind of an offshoot. And I am not as familiar with the character, the comics. I knew a little of the story, and I've seen and read some of the stuff that like Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange did together, because when they were kicking ass and taking names and did all that cool shit.
Yeah, you're not as much into the comics as Kevin.
And that's why I thought
Right.
it was a suspicious pull.
And so here's the answer that I gave them off
Not like
air.
it's Madam Web who was in the Spider-Man cartoon.
Right. And here's the answer. So when the episode when they were talking about, I know the perfect person I go talk to. And I was like, it's got to be fucking Doctor Strange. So I tried to do some research and tried to say, did they ever?
Everyone was wrong because it was no one.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But I wanted to see. I'm like, did they ever meet up? And like, I remember reading about the Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, but I don't remember this. And in doing said research, I came across Agnes, and I was like, no, because she's a witch. And I'm like, Catherine Hahn was dressed as a witch. I'm like, do you think? Because it would be too George Lucas of them to make it that fucking obvious. But I thought, I'm like, but maybe.
Well, and so, like, that's the thing.
But I didn't think she was going to be a bad guy.
Yeah, I didn't think they ever overplayed their hand on her, though.
No.
And I was like, the witch thing, I was like, that's cute because Agatha, that makes sense. Sure, why not? That'll work. And then, but even at that point, I was still like, they're not gonna make her.
And then they do that song, and the whole time you're like, I should have seen that.
Yeah, like you should have seen fucking all of it.
I'm
like,
an idiot,
so
especially with the bunny.
going back through,
dog.
fuck.
So in my you can fucking play it, okay.
Yeah.
So in my throwing a dart at a dartboard and hitting a bullseye was kind of a shot in the dark.
Yeah,
honestly.
No. Hey, man. Broken clocks all right twice a day.
Right.
Yeah.
Because honestly, with like this show, I try to avoid all the internet. Like I'd see I'd start reading a title of something on like Facebook, and I'm like, nope, fucking go, scroll past it. I don't want to read. I don't because I don't want anything spoiled. But sometimes I do my own. I try to do my own research because like I said, I wasn't as familiar with the comic, but I kind of remembered some things. But was it what I expected? Absolutely not, like the rest of you. I feel it very well fit into the Marvelverse and makes me ask all sorts of questions. And like you said, especially with that last scene, I think it very much sets up Doctor Strange.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved it. I mean, at first I was like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, oh, fuck, this is getting Marvel really quick. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, this is really fucking good. I do have one question, though, and maybe I missed it. Where did White Vision go? Because they were there. They had this really romantic scene. I thought they were going to kiss. And then I thought, they got absorbed. Like he absorbed him. The fake Vision absorbed White Vision, and that was not the case. So, but did you note? And this might just be a pure weird thing, but did you notice on her new outfit that on the neck part right here is the exact same shape as Vision's fucking stone on his head?
Mm-hmm. Did not actually.
Yeah.
No, he did not get absorbed because they were two different entities.
That's what I thought.
The Vision, classic-looking Vision, got absorbed back into Wanda, but White Vision went off to go to find himself.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, that is a plot point I hope is not dropped, but I'm very, very worried that it will be.
And I honestly thought in the last episode, I'm like, they're going to kill off Wanda. They're going to kill her off. I thought for sure they were. And that somehow Agnes would take over some part of it or whatever storyline and I'd be upset about it. I thought the ending was brilliant. I thought what they did with the whole thing.
I don't I don't think they will drop it because Vision is set to be in more movies.
Is he?
And he is Vision now. But I think as he discovers his past visioniness through the memories that he retained, I think he's gonna become colorful again.
Would you like to see a Vision Quest miniseries?
Yeah.
Oh God, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
That'd be perfect for Paul Bettany, I think.
And because obviously there's not going to be a sequel to this series. It's just
I think there should be a sequel, and it should be called Vision.
Well, that's what I was getting to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fucker.
I spoiled it for you. I apologize.
But they didn't really show. I don't remember them showing where he went or if he just.
He went off.
He went.
But
no, they didn't, and I think that was on purpose. And I really don't think they'll drop it on that one. I think he's gonna show up.
I am worried that he'll be dropped, but
I think he's. Gonna
he is
in Doctor Strange.
And I do, and this is just my opinion. Out of all the Marvel things, I think some of the best acting was between Paul Bettany and
Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's fair.
And Elizabeth Olsen, like that last scene with them and those two talking to each other, I was just like,
yeah. If you didn't cry, you were more heartless than Vision.
God damn, yeah, it was so good. Like it was just.
I did not.
Boo.
I'm sorry.
I just did fucking emotionalist. Beanpole. I don't know. Beanpole.
Beanpole.
I don't know.
I'm
I couldn't think of anything else on people.
Half keg at the worst.
Yeah, it was great. I think there was some really good moments between the two of them, and it literally just the two of them, and Elizabeth Olsen especially. She had some great solo moments too. I think it was just so good. Who did she hear at the end? Was it her kids?
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's the multiverse, and then she's gonna.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I was with as much theorizing as we did over this last thing, and how
should I throw another dart at the dartboard?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. I didn't.
Go ahead.
I haven't researched anything. I might later.
Onslaught. It's gonna be Onslaught.
Was the fake Wanda outside? Was that her just like projecting?
I think that was actually Wanda, like the physical form of Wanda being able to go out and do things and like at least project a sort of, consciousness essentially. Like, cause she's fucking powerful.
Yeah, I think the consciousness was the one studying and the one having some tea was physical.
Yeah.
And then when she had to run off, she's going and poop back together.
She's like, hey, physical Wanda, come here.
Well, yeah, but like I think she is such a powerful witch that she is able to access the astral plane while still keeping the physical body conscious. Maybe sort of on like a
more powerful than Doctor Strange does.
Yeah. But
and that's straight up what they said in the show.
Yeah,
that she will become more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, and already she's proven it because she can put her physical form on autopilot and make it look like she's not actually off in the astral realm, but sure enough, she's there and she's doing her studying thing.
Or more so, she was twice. Like, not just like her body wasn't an autopilot, just enjoying tea. Like, she was there.
But she was also there.
Enjoying tea as much as she was studying, like fucking Dr. Manhattan style.
Ugh. I hate that. I love it, but I hate it.
And then I did do some research because I was kind of curious. I'm like, why the fuck was she in the middle of nowhere other than just to like get away from the fucking world? Is this direct correlation to, and I forget the name of it, the place that they mentioned in the comic books for Wanda where she was for a while near her home?
From Sokovia?
Yeah. Like she had some sort of, I should have wrote it down. I didn't. But I read something about she had in the comic she had a escape in the mountain somewhere.
Wundagore?
Was that it?
There's in the comics there is a mountain fortress type thing that has sort of like a space you can go to that's kind of like a log cabin in the middle of the fucking woods where nobody can see you. But that's Magneto's base for a few years. Like he's got this mountain in the mountains of fucking
Mountain in the mountains.
mountain in the fucking mountains of mountains. Mountainburg, yeah.
There you go.
Right next to South Mountain.
Which is to the north, and East Mountain to the south.
Right.
Yeah.
Like East St. Paul and West St. Paul.
Yeah.
West St. Paul and South St. Paul.
Located
Anyways.
conveniently near Mountainton. Yeah. But he's got this mountain in the comics in the middle of Eastern Europe somewhere that he uses as like an evil lair. I don't remember the actual name of it. The joke on the X-Men podcasts, Jay and Miles explain the X-Men. The joke they call it Octopusheim. Just, there's reasons. But like he's got this little space where, and it's like on a mountain retreat, and there's like a little log cabin there too. So like that could be what you're talking about or thinking about,
Right.
but doesn't seem terribly likely because they're not bringing in the X-Men yet, and as upset about it as I am, I get why they're doing it because they want to do it in a movie.
Do you think that the book she was reading was one of the missing books from?
It was Darkhold. It was the Darkhold. It was Agatha's book.
Right, but isn't that there's a theory out there that was one of the missing books from Doctor Strange? Like if you look in the movie,
I believe we had seen it once before.
Yeah, I think maybe
the one that I read specifically was in the movie when they're talking about the restricted books, and they're talking about, and they're all the ones that are chained up. There's one that is missing.
Yep.
And that was the one that Agatha has.
Yeah, I believe that.
Which would explain like even the ending where she looks like Doctor Strange to kind of maybe tie the two together.
Well, that's exactly why she looks like that, is so that she looks like Doctor Strange, and like that's specifically to tie into the movie.
I believe in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Ghost Rider had it for a second.
Oh,
Ghost Rider was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
yeah.
Not the
Nicolas Cage one?
Not the Nicolas Cage one.
The good one.
But not even the same character of Ghost Rider. It was a different guy as Ghost Rider. He's the one with the cars. He's Latino.
Oh, that Ghost Rider. Yeah. Speaking of a side note, on Doom Patrol, that cyborg, is that supposed to be the same? Is that supposed to be in the same universe as the other DC cyborg in the movie?
No.
Okay. I just had to clear that up. Because they talk about Bruce Wayne. Like, do you want to be Bruce Wayne? Bruce Wayne rich?
Yeah, Bruce Wayne does exist in the multiverse also.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering if it was the same.
That's why there's going to be Ben Affleck and Robert Pattinson at the same time.
Yep.
But I was wondering if it was the same, supposed to be the same cyborg or not.
And Michael Keaton.
So they don't exist in this Doom Patrol doesn't exist in the same. Okay, it's Justice League. Zack Snyder first.
No.
Okay.
Actually, they come to exactly this conversation in Crisis on Infinite Earths. They show clips from Titans, Doom Patrol,
And and the DCU
Flash.
comes in.
Yep.
And they just like, what's the conversation? Like,
Well,
Well,
it's not really a conversation.
No.
I mean, there is a conversation, but that's between Flashes, between Ezra Miller, Flash, and
Grant Gustin.
Gustin's Flash. They have a conversation, but like you just see flashes of the Titans in Doom Patrol world, and it says what Earth it is.
Yep.
oh, okay.
And Titans and Doom Patrol are on the same Earth, or are they different ones?
They are different.
That's what I thought.
Even though Doom Patrol started on Titans, that's a different Doom Patrol.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
what I
why the Professor looks different. He's played by No Name McCoy in the Titans, and then by James Bond in the real show.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Chief. So back to WandaVision.
Yeah.
And why they never fucking talk about the Titans after that.
Thank you for clearing it up for me. I figured it was probably different, but I was like, I gotta ask just to make sure because I fucking stupid. In the DC verse, anyways, because
I am a little sad that the majority of the last and longest episode was a superhero fight. While I wanted that to a degree, I wanted there to be a little bit more subplot and intrigue stuff and answers and stuff, but you know, it is a superhero property, so there's got to be some shoot 'em up, pow pow somewhere.
Yeah. So I think this has been confirmed at this point. Sure felt like Darcy got shafted for the last couple episodes there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I believe it's explained, like, I believe someone said there are a bunch of cut scenes of Darcy because of time and story. Like
I get that.
Gotta get all those credits in.
Yeah.
I felt at the end, though, it was a little bit Star Trek The Next Generation. Why can't I think? Who's Sherlock Holmes? Moriarty. It was a little their Moriarty episode where they lock him into a fucking box and he's in his own world now. Brr.
Oh, sure. Gotcha.
I felt like the end of WandaVision was a little bit like that with Agatha.
Oh, really? Oh.
Because she's like, I'm going to trap you in the world that you don't want to be in, or I'm going to trap you in whatever.
In the role you
Yeah,
put yourself in.
right.
You know?
And I just felt, not that it was exactly like putting her in her own little world, but
It's interesting that you used Star Trek: The Next Generation with the Sherlock Holmes holodeck episode. When there's so many examples to pull from, but that's the one you went.
Yeah.
because that's like
That's the one that came
at the
to
end he thinks he's like exploring the universe, but he's actually just in like a little data chip. But like I don't think that's what it is. I think she's trapped in that tiny little shell of a dimension. Like she doesn't get like this whole neighborhood, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
At least that's not what it seemed to me. It looks like it's more of a Rita Repulsa sort of a.
Yeah, she gets turned into the one thing that she forced herself into. Like that's what's happening there.
Or she's trapped in her own little mind. I don't know.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Just an overview, like the pacing on this show. What do you guys think?
Good. I mean,
Yeah?
it slowed where it needed to. It sped up where
Yeah.
it needed to. It didn't. And I think that's because the episodes were 14 and a half minutes long with 25 minutes of credits that they
Right.
had to sort of.
Can I get a piece of paper so I can keep track of how many times Kevin mentions the fucking credits?
I find it annoying.
I'm out of paper.
I don't think it
sorry.
was that bad.
I liked it. It this show had the format that I like in shows that keep me vested. Like it's too short, and you're just like, fuck, I want more. Like fucking bad. Like actually, when Walking Dead was good. At the end of even though they're hour episodes,
right now, the last episode I just watched.
I haven't watched the season at all. The rest of the season at all. So don't sweat. But I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm vested. I'm like, I should just watch it, but I'm not like, ugh, do I have to?
Daryl fucks.
Yeah. Sweet. But not, you know what I mean.
Ladies and gentlemen, the excitement on Nick's face.
But the early episodes were like they kept me vested in like what's going to happen. Like, God, I got to watch the next episode, and like that's what WandaVision did. It very much did that. And
Well, I mean, because each and every fucking episode ended on a goddamn cliffhanger,
right, and you're like,
which was like
where the fuck are they going with this?
all the shows we were watching were doing that. It's pissing me off because like we're also watching Servant right now.
Okay.
Every single one of those ends on a goddamn cliffhanger. We're watching For All Mankind, which I cannot recommend enough.
Servant's the one with...
Both of these are on Apple Plus, so if you have that, which if you have an iPhone, I think you get for free. It's got some good shows. You can make those noises all you want. It's got some good shows. Servant, I recommend. For All Mankind, I recommend. See, I recommend. Servant has Rupert Grint in his most powerful performance. Like he carries so many of these episodes with his startling American accent. But that's the thing is that all these shows end on cliffhangers, and that's what keeps you going. Well, I mean, with like Servant, a couple of the episodes have been a little slow, but yeah, WandaVision, I never felt bored. I never felt like, let's hurry it up here, folks. What are you signaling over there?
Sorry, I just wanted... Okay, cool. Let's do it. I was just trying to signal to him, and I was trying to do it so that I didn't distract you from what you were saying.
It's 100% distracting.
I'm sorry.
And Clarissa explains it all. And go. I know Zach Morris timed out, but Clarissa could too.
She did, yeah. Well, she would fourth wall break. I don't know.
She did fourth wall break, but I thought she did the Zach Morris timeout, and everything would stop around her. I don't remember. Anyways,
I don't know if she did. I think she just took moments where nothing was happening. Like she
Yeah.
would go to her room, and that's
Gotcha.
where she would
narrate from
narrate what was going on.
So it wasn't the Zach Morris timeout.
No,
Right. She just
That'd be great. if you
Zach Morris is trash.
I know.
My
Yes,
favorite web series.
could- Continue, Kevin.
Like I remember where I was. I like the episode the pacing. It was good.
Good. It was good.
Kept Kevin brain think.
Yeah.
So something I think.
I feel Rob's going to be the contrarian here shortly.
No, I was going to say something I thought that was really, really clever for the show was that, well, the flashback episode,
Yeah.
which I don't know if anyone else noticed, but like, did you realize that it was a clip show?
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Because it's a clip show.
Very well done.
It's a clip show that's not a clip show, but
was-
it's a clip show.
it was
and it's
very
fucking
clever.
Like,
But it was done like in the style of that episode. Like it just, yep.
it was done in the style of a clip show episode without being a clip show episode. I thought it's the structure. Oh God. Okay, I just need to talk about this for a minute. The structure of this show, from top to bottom, with how they did the television tropes all the way through. Because even though we stopped doing the sitcoms on, what was that, episode 7?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say 7.
It was right after the Malcolm in the Middle episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
6, 7, around there, yeah.
because it was the last two that really dropped it.
Yeah, the last
So 8 and 9, yeah. So
8 and 9?
Yeah, and 7 I think was the Malcolm in the Middle episode.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, like after 7, like they dropped the sitcom conceit, but oh yeah, it was 7 because they had that episode 3 where the one it's named "We Interrupt This Program."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, like they did sitcom tropes all the way through, and then 8 and 9 still had TV tropes cleverly embedded, and if you knew what you were looking at, then you knew. But like,
Right.
I just thought about it just now that basically episode 8 is a clip show. But I thought that what I was getting to was I thought that episode and the conceit they gave for how the series was structured, brilliant.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That's such a smart move that, like, you know, she grew up on sitcoms because they got a bunch of DVDs, and she loved Dick Van Dyke, which I thought was great.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so she's reliving her childhood.
Yeah, and it was of course
and
that's
getting
exactly,
to see how that went down, which we never would have otherwise.
no, and mostly I'm glad we didn't originally, but
There was, I didn't read the article, I should have, but there was it sounded like a very interesting article. I fucking should have read it and I didn't. I'm sorry, I apologize. But it was about about WandaVision and how it was like, finally you have a heroine character who is actually going through some mental illness and dealing with it as you're literally watching her deal with it. And even to the point where stories are skewed. So like, when the general or that guy comes in and says, "Oh yeah, she stole Vision from us," well, that's what he says happened, and then you see what actually happened.
yeah,
And and you're just watching her just deal with this, this mental breakdown as it, what's the word I'm looking for? Like as it's happening, as the story progresses.
yeah. You're watching her basically live her trauma, and
In
that
real
part-
time.
in real
Thank
time,
you.
and that kind of sucked.
It did suck, but it was amazing story writing though.
Oh yeah, no, like
and I don't think
when
they placated any part of trauma,
Yeah, when I say it sucked, I mean it made me uncomfortable because then I had to examine my own feelings and fuck that. It's been a pandemic. I don't want to think about that right now.
Right. I felt, I was like, yeah, it did. And
How dare you make me feel feelings? Yeah.
and yet you didn't cry when you should have.
Nope.
You fucking heartless bastard.
Sorry.
We can cry together, Kevin.
Yeah. You guys cry together. It's cool.
whatever. It was emotional, man. It's a
I-
powerful scene. It's powerful writing. I don't even know who wrote the damn thing. It was episodes written by separate writers?
I think so.
Or was there one story writer who did, and then other... I know there were various directors. I do know that.
Jack Shackman. No, not Jack Shackman. Matt Shackman was the director. Jack something was the writer and showrunner, and she was very good.
But it was different directors for episodes, right?
I think Matt Shackman directed
all of
most of it.
Did he? Okay.
If not all
thought
of it, then most
I mean,
of it.
there were a few, but the creator and head writer was Jack Schaefer,
Jack Schaefer. Thank
and
you.
she had a lot of it. But
Great.
If you guys haven't watched it, there is a documentary about 52. It's like an hour-long documentary about inside WandaVision.
I haven't watched it yet. It's on my thing. I did see that pop up. And also, I applaud Disney Plus for... And they're like the worst clip shows ever, and I think they could do better. But it's something called Legends.
I've seen it. It sucks.
It's the worst. But for people who might not be as familiar and don't necessarily want to watch all the movies, can get a little backstory on the characters a little bit.
Yeah.
But I applaud them for trying. I think they should do better. Maybe explain the comic book and the character itself, but they don't. They just explain what the Marvel MCU shows of these said characters. And of course, with Wanda and Vision, I mean, they only got, 4 or 5 movies?
Yeah.
I mean, to really tell their story, and they were barely in 4 movies?
4. They got 4 movies, and even then, not much.
Their touch of their falling in love story was...
Yeah, it was blink and you miss it, really.
Right. And that, but very powerful when it happened, and then, yeah.
But, so I do have a question, but you have a thing, I think.
yes, so all of the main staff writers were women, and then one black man.
Fantastic.
What was the racial breakdown on the women?
I don't
out of
know. There's
curiosity?
no pictures. I had to look up the guy because he was the only one I wasn't sure if he was a woman or a man because his name is Cameron,
Oh, sure.
and that can go either way.
Yep.
But on his Twitter, he describes himself as a Super Saiyan, a scribe, WandaVision, and Final Space. So I had to follow him.
That was quick.
Yeah,
So here's my question.
he seems neat.
And I feel like it's going to be the same answer around the table, but was there something that didn't work for you? Something you didn't like? Something that just didn't quite float your boat? I'm going to let Nick go first because I feel like I know your answer.
I don't have an answer right off the top of my head. I have to think about this one for
Okay,
a
so
moment.
then Kevin, go ahead.
So the end credits are really long. Yeah, I'm just kidding, but I'm also not.
I know.
But I feel like it would have bothered me less if there had been more than just like the two, maybe 3 mid-credit sequences. I think if there had been more of those, the 2 end credits would have bothered me less.
Sure.
But other than that,
Like, I guess I was talking about in the show itself, but
the red herring of
Pietro.
was disappointing, especially because I thought we were finally going to get some fucking mutants up in this bitch.
Yep.
Other than that, no, because as much of a bummer as Boner was, Catherine Hahn
Yeah, she was awesome.
guzzling scenery is
Yeah.
worth every second. She is phenomenal.
100%. I agree. The red herring with Pietro I was kind of bummed about that, but also it was done. While I was bummed about it, I thought it was done kind of well. Not like they could have done better with the story of him just being a nobody, but maybe the boner was the throwback to family ties.
I was thinking about that too.
And it absolutely was. But I think it would have been less disappointing if it had been somebody else. But it's the fact that it was a very specific, different Pietro that made it such a letdown.
It did. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I assume you guys noticed this, but Ralph the whole time was Pietro.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
And we discussed this, that they never, Ralph is such a trope throughout sitcoms of the bad luck spouse
Yeah.
in TV shows that everyone talks shit about, but no one ever sees. Like with Megan Mullally's human in Stan in Will and Grace.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Or there was another one that came to mind just now, and I was it Enid from Scrubs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kelso's wife, Enid, or his son, for that matter. Like the two of them.
But Enid was at least sort of present, but you never truly saw her. Like you saw him get like kicked out of the car once.
yeah,
Yeah.
But his son Harrison is another good example.
I
though.
thought there was a photo of his son. Like you saw a partial photo of his son somewhere.
Kind of, but like
Didn't
both
his
of
son
those.
turn to his daughter?
No.
No, he was just gay.
He was
He's just gay.
That's right. I thought there was some. Anyways, maybe this is his son's boyfriend turned to. Anyways, doesn't matter.
But regardless, like that trope, that character that is always talked about but never seen.
Right. That really bothered you?
No, it didn't bother me. I like that that's how they tied Ralph in. Like we got that answer, but also I was a little sad that that's how we got that answer because like I like the unseen spouse trope.
Yeah.
I like that. It's a funny trope, and you can work it to your advantage however you want because they're imaginary. They could be a fucking 6-foot dragon with 7 arms and 3 penises.
Yeah. Tad Cooper.
Yeah, Tad Cooper.
I missed that show.
I get you, baby. I get you.
Good.
But I don't want to jump on the bandwagon of Peter or Pietro because like
Peter.
Peter. I don't want to jump on the bandwagon of Pietro just because like obviously that sucked. I was so disappointed in that reveal. So like there is a silver lining to it that I like that they combined the two. But the thing that I think there is one other thing that bothered me a little bit and that just didn't work for me. And that was Hayward as a bad guy. I just never found him to be a threat. I just thought he was annoying. I felt he's annoying.
That's because he wasn't the threat. He was like the mini boss nuisance.
Okay.
Yeah, and I felt part of that was they kind of troped him into that role of like, I'm the blah blah.
He's
like
the General Ross sort of character.
Yeah.
But I also felt part of that, and not necessarily the writing, but I think they didn't really expand much on his role, and so they kind of dropped the ball a little bit and just kind of threw him into a trope, and they're like, we'll just go with that trope and that'll be fine. Because, like you said, he's like the mini boss before you get to the big boss, and he's not really much of a threat.
Well, and also he wasn't Wanda's antagonist. He wasn't there to be Wanda's antagonist either. He was Monica's antagonist. He was Darcy's antagonist. He was Jimmy's antagonist.
He was he wasn't the villain. He was the linchpin of Calamity.
There you go. Yeah,
That's a good way to put it.
The dickhead who usually through some sort of zealotry ideology makes a bad situation
Worse.
turn into its near worst possible scenario.
Sure.
He's Jar Jar Binks, man.
I don't know. He just didn't work for me as much as I would have liked him to, I think. I thought he was a decent... I would like to see Hayward come back because I feel like he's one of those characters on a TV show that works if you give him some seasons to breathe. And so if Hayward were some sort of like continual thorn in the side in the television space, I think that might be interesting. And that would make me...
But I don't think they really get involved with anybody else, do they?
They do.
In the comics?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They're in the comics. Technically, they're more of a space agency.
Space Force?
Yeah, they're Space Force. No joke. They're Space Force. They're fucking Space Force.
Well, maybe they might show up in Loki because they got the fucking Time Lords.
They've got
Time Cops.
TVA over there, Time Variance Authority. So
maybe they might run into the Sword. Who knows? I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, if you're talking about whatever. Speaking of the Winter Soldier,
You mean Loki?
Loki. Well, no, I do mean Winter Soldier. They dropped a new little trailer that revealed a little bit more, by the way. If you haven't seen it, it's fucking awesome. Go see it. Yeah, there was I mean, I agree with you, but at the same time, it's kind of like I didn't see him as Wanda's main threat, especially after the Agatha was revealed.
Right, but honestly, like I would be on board. I think if I would like Hayward more if I knew that this was not going to be a one and done for him.
Gotcha. Yeah.
If he were going to continue on in the seasons in the TV universe, if he were going to be like an interconnecting character throughout the TV universe, I think I'd find that really interesting, and I would be more interested in his character. But it sure does feel like they're just one and doneing him, and they're not going to have any interconnecting character between series.
I'm not, and maybe that's why they didn't invest too much into him, because he is going to be a one and done, and why invest a lot of time into a one and done character?
Right. I guess what I'm saying is like, I think that would be a cool thing if Marvel had that, much like they did with in the Infinity Saga. They had the running idea of the stones, and stones would just pop up everywhere. And sometimes you'd see Thanos, sometimes you didn't, or like Fury, or just one of those tissue characters.
Right.
Connective tissue characters. And so like I'd love to see a connective tissue character in the television universe. And I know it's not its own separate universe, but it would be interesting if they had a connective tissue character.
I wish they would. If that was the case, I wish they would pick somebody different.
I'd be okay with a random dude that we've never heard of. I would.
Because I just feel like if they kept popping his character in after we've already, especially if we're going to talk about characters we've already developed, like, Bucky.
Ross?
Yeah.
I mean, he was the stand-in for the usual General Ross,
Yeah.
curmudgeonly military man.
Because they could afford him.
Right, but I also feel like he stepped his game up when he said, "Oh, I retired, but now I'm in this new position, and now I'm whatever his new fucking position was not active military now, but he had a new position, so it kind of made sense, and like he'd
For
be the
Ross?
curmudgeon, yeah,
Because he was Secretary of State.
right." But that's what I mean. Like it made sense to promote him, and now he's going to be the block that fucks with the Avengers.
But then, and I mean, there almost wasn't a reason not to use him, I guess, other than cost, because we had already established that he had hard feelings against Wanda, that were established.
Yeah.
yeah,
He created the Sokovia Accords because of her.
Yeah.
yeah. So I could definitely see him popping up again.
Sure.
And maybe he hires this guy, the sword guy, to be somebody that does something with the fucking mutant thing. I don't know. Who knows? But maybe he could pop up. I don't know. I'm with you, but I don't really care if he doesn't ever show up again.
Sure.
That's my opinion.
So wrapping up and moving on a little bit. Yeah, wrapping this up. How do we feel about some predictions moving forward?
Him and Doctor Strange better be fucking some her and Doctor Strange better be fucking some shit up, and fucking Doctor Strange in the multiverse of madness. I want to see
good.
I want to see him fuck some shit up. I want to see.
So Strange is a mentor to Wanda in the comics as well.
Yep, I know, and I want to see. I want to get that same excitement that I got at the end of first Avengers and at the end of Endgame, when everybody got joined together and they just went on a fucking kick-ass spree. I want to feel that again, and I want to feel it with like Wanda and Doctor Strange, and I want to see some serious, like, just, I don't know who their enemy would be that they would need to that would be more powerful than those two. Because I feel like those two together would be probably could have taken down Strange. Well, those two and Captain Marvel could have taken down Thanos.
Sure. There is an enemy for Wanda and Strange to take on. It's the literal devil, but that's some comics knowledge.
There's a prediction of Kevin's that sure didn't pan out.
Yeah,
Mentioned, but didn't pan out.
right. Mentioned but didn't pan out. But here's the fun part. At the end of that, so let's get to that final end credit sequence where we see Wanda in the cabin sipping her tea, and then you go inside the cabin, and her astral form is reading through the book, and then you hear Tommy and Billy.
I think you hear one of them. I don't know if you hear both of them.
You hear both of them.
Yeah.
It's both of them.
So you're wondering if that is not them, but is
Mephisto.
yeah.
So in the comics, Tommy and Billy are at one point found to be
The devil spawn because they made a throwaway line to it.
yes, because they're referring to Tommy and Billy.
Yes.
Who are
Probably closed the mini fridge all the way.
Oh, did it not?
There you go.
Thanks, buddy.
They were created from Wanda's imagination and shards of Mephisto's soul.
Yeah.
Which is fucking weird.
That I did know.
Okay.
Because there was that throwaway line about them being devil spawn.
Yeah, and technically, I guess they are. So that's what I think is that, like, we're bringing back Tommy and Billy, and they're going to be with Mephisto. Yeah. I honestly believe that is going to be the big bad of
Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange. I hope. I don't know. You know what? I can't make those predictions anymore because fucking X-Men,
I
man.
thought somebody else was already cast as a pretty big bad guy in that.
There is,
Yeah, I
I think.
remember.
I think you are right.
Who would we want to play Mephisto?
I don't know enough about Mephisto to accurately predict a good character.
Has Idris Elba been in the Marvel Universe yet?
Yeah.
He's currently in Thor.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
He's been in a bunch of the movies.
Yeah, I forgot.
We're running out of actors.
We are running out of actors.
Morgan Freeman.
No. Well, it is voice. It would be voice only, essentially, because Mephisto is sort of non-corporeal.
Benedict Cumberbatch plays the voice of Mephisto as well.
I mean, that's
But
fair.
not-
He's already played the devil
but not
once.
Smog.
No, he played the devil in Good Omens.
He sure did.
Yeah. So, who would I pick? Oh, you know what, though? As long as we're talking about Good Omens, I think Michael Sheen would be a great voice for Mephisto.
I think Michael Sheen would be a good actor for him, too.
Maybe. I feel like he's just a little Weasley, unfortunately, because they're going to make him shave, which is stupid. If we get Bear Daddy Michael Sheen, then I'd be fine with it. But they're going to make him shave for Mephisto, and then I don't think that works.
Huh. Kevin, you sound like you had somebody in mind.
What would we think of Javier Bardem?
I don't hate it. It's not bad. Can't be Jeff Daniels, which sucks. Oh, no, it could be Jeff Daniels. So I was thinking of someone else just now. I was thinking of Jeff Bridges, who was
I
in
just
the
think he
first
has a
Iron Man.
good voice, and I think if they were going to actually like show Mephisto, I think he could pull off the look.
Javier Bardem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so I made this joke to Sean Beveridge a number of years ago that I think Javier Bardem's voice sounds like velvet broccoli.
Is that not what we want for Mephisto?
And yes, that's exactly what we want for Mephisto, first of all. Second of all, now that I've said that, you can't unhear it, can you?
Perfectly blanched broccoli smothered in cheese whiz.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Velvet broccoli.
Yeah, velvet broccoli. Yeah, I'm going to look up a picture of Mephisto real quick just to
I've
see.
seen a lot of devil
He sure
stuff.
does look like a red devil person. I just think somebody Latino would be able to pull off sort of the zhuzh of Mephisto, not to mention the fact that we're painfully underrepresented in Latino characters in the MCU.
No, that's fair. I don't know if I don't know if I'd get Javier Bardem, but
think so?
you know who I would get? There's a couple of them, and they're all in the Star Wars universe.
It can't be Poe Dameron.
Yeah, he's already Apocalypse.
No, but
no, he's already
also
Moon
Black
Knight.
Moon Knight. Yeah, sorry, Moon Knight.
Black Moon Knight, according to Rob.
Yeah.
I was going to say Black Knight for some reason, and I knew that was wrong. But Moon Knight. He's going to be Moon Knight, so it can't be Oscar Isaac. But
Nick Cannon.
no. What is wrong with you?
Henry Fonda.
Oh boy,
He's dead.
It would be fun to
I enjoyed that.
weekend at Bernie's him. Tom Cruise.
No. Get out.
You get out. Tom Hanks.
You
Tom
know
Hanks
what?
is douchebag kid.
Oh, Colin Hanks is Mephisto? I
was
actually would
Chad.
hate that. No, that's Chet, and he's
Oh.
awful.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Oh, you're talking about Chet Hanks?
Yeah, the shitty one.
The one that tried the one that speaks in patois.
Yeah.
Is just really culturally insensitive as
Yeah,
fuck. Yeah,
yeah.
that guy. No, first of all.
Have you not noticed I'm now trying to pick bad picks because I already picked the best one and you shit on it?
That I shit on Javier Bardem?
Yeah.
Only because the pictures that I was pulling up were like super svelte and twig like Mephisto.
Yeah, but he's like Javier Bardem is.
He's built.
Yeah.
Like a brick shit house. But like here, let me.
Then Rami Malek. I don't know. Who cares?
Oh, God, no.
I'm going to throw this out there.
Okay,
Pete
you know what?
Davidson.
Actually,
Pete Davidson. Final offer.
I was going to throw out something similar. Daniel Day-Lewis.
no.
Very similar to Pete Davidson. You got it.
Yeah.
Same level of actor. Lincoln, King of Staten Island. Equal tours de force.
Yep.
Actually, no, I'd rather watch King of Staten Island again than Lincoln.
I need to watch King of Staten Island.
I would much rather watch all of Pete Davidson's oeuvre than have to watch Daniel Day-Lewis in anything.
Lincoln wasn't horrible.
I do not care for him. I think he's shit.
He was really good in Gangs of New York.
Yeah, it was. Can't be denied. I'm sorry, Rob.
The movie was weird, but my
super
favorite
hate
part
his
of Lincoln
style.
actually was what's his nuts? Tommy Lee Jones.
Quit picking people who are 1,000.
No, I'm just saying that was my favorite part of Lincoln.
Oh.
No.
I thought Tommy Lee Jones was your pick for Mephisto.
No,
I was
no.
like, Jesus Christ,
No,
dude. Can we
Yeah.
pick somebody who isn't
Like-
80?
No.
New, fresh. Like I do like Javier Bardem. It's just the pictures I kept coming up with were like super skinny Mephisto, and I just was like, "Is that gonna work?" And then I looked through and I'm like, "Oh no, wait, there's some built Mephistos too." So yes,
I do like
Javier Bardem is a good
Javier
choice.
Bardem.
You're right. The body shape of the character is definitely the most important part. That's why Thor is 900 pounds, and that's why all the females in the MCU have giant tits and big old butts and tiny waists. Really? His body size? Fucking Hugh Jackman, 6 foot, playing 5'3" Wolverine. That is not something we need to pay attention to, as if he's skinny enough.
I just had somebody, Javier Bardem, and then I was going to say the guy that played. This might not be a good pick because maybe he can't do it. The guy that played the Hound in Game of Thrones.
Rory-
Futzbum Waller.
Yeah, that guy. No, he might. No, he probably could. No, maybe not. No, maybe he's not a good pick. He's not a good pick. I lied.
No,
Scratch
I like-
that. Javier Bardem. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the train of Javier Bardem.
I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Because when I think of the devil, honestly, I think of Tim Curry in Legend.
When I think of the devil, I now think of Tom Ellis.
Tom.
I think that's his name from Lucifer.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure, that's fair.
That's a phone.
It's me.
Okay.
It's like,
I don't know what's going
Because
on.
the way it vibrated, it sounded just like a tone.
Yeah,
Like a, and I thought we were all going to die.
oh, gonna die.
truck was just gonna barrel through this house.
You know, fuck it. Ashley Judd. She needs to come back.
She does need to come back. Oh my god, where would you cast her?
What 90?
Mephisto.
Fair enough.
Keira Knightley. She's got range.
I liked your answer. I liked his reaction better.
Actually, if he wasn't already fucking in Doctor Strange, Chiwetel Ejiofor would make a fucking amazing.
That would be amazing. You're right. And Black Panther took all the others. Otherwise, I'd say Winston Duke. But he's already M'Baku. I don't know why we're thinking so hard about this.
I don't know either. This is just supposed to be fun.
This was supposed to be
fucking
fun.
Rick.
Rick?
Yeah, why not? From fucking Walking Dead.
Oh, sure.
I think he could do it.
You know what? That's not a terrible idea.
Finally have his accent back.
Yeah, he can. Yeah.
He could. I like to see him as a bad guy. He's too nice. Like personally, he's too nice. But
I don't know. There was there were sections of seasons of Walking Dead where he was
absolutely
full on dickhead.
Oh yeah, full on losing his fucking shit. Yeah.
I saw Ryan the Last Dragon.
Oh yeah.
I did the $30
Did you?
Oh yeah.
unlock streamy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It was really good, you guys.
I've heard.
Was King of Staten Island good?
It was.
Oh, was? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I enjoyed it. I laughed my tits off.
when you said it earlier, I thought you meant it was like, okay, I'm not thinking.
No, it was good. I
Okay.
liked it. But no, Ryan the Last Dragon, it was, I mean, it was a little cliche, but I mean, other than that, it was definitely a sort of a Moana meets Mulan sort of vibe going on, complete with Alan Tudyk making grunting noises to play an animal.
I was going to say,
Alan Tudyk as Mephisto. That's it.
As her mode of transportation, the furry roly beetle called Tuk Tuk. And the entire movie is like,
I think I found I should share a website with you where you can.
I went to Juilliard.
All sorts of movies for free, and there are even movies that haven't been released yet.
That sounds illegal.
This is going on on the internet. Nick.
No, it's not, because I can edit it the fuck out.
But yeah, it was very good. I highly recommend it. And I also watched a movie called Chaos Rising, starring Bruce Willis and Frank Grillo. And I'm going to be watching another Frank Grillo movie.
That's the one where he's like in the body armor and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
and I'm going to be watching another Frank Grillo movie called Game Over, which is another time loop movie.
Oh,
but this one, it has kind of video game vibes and has Mel Gibson in it.
Ooh.
I already have some enchanting notes about Chaos Rising. Expect some more about Game Over, and I will
present your thesis.
I will present
next time.
I will present my grievances next time on Best Threesome Ever.
Fair enough. I'll try to watch it as well. Chaos Rising.
Just nail the 5-page whatever to Nick's garage door.
In the next episode, by the time we record next, Winter Soldier and Falcon will be out.
Yeah,
Couple episodes.
I know a spoiler about that already. Yeah. It's the little one.
No.
It's the little one.
No.
It's the first episode.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Shut it. I don't want to hear it. Tell Kevin later. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any spoilers.
That's fine, man. I'm not going to
Shut up, Rob. Stop spoiling the movie.
I'm not. Rob, you were doing that voice. The voice where, like, I'm going to. No problem. Oh, by the way, it's this. I'm not going to show you my penis. There's his penis.
He's definitely done that before.
I know that voice.
All right, let's wrap this episode up. We're off track.
Fine.
So we've already talked about, like, obviously people should see WandaVision. Any final thoughts about WandaVision? Any final things?
Kat Dennings is a perfect person.
She's wonderful. She's enjoyable.
She is. She's very good, and I'm very disappointed that she did not get nearly enough screen time, I think.
Yeah. I know that they're not going
At
to...
least after the first couple initial episodes.
Yeah.
I'm also not... I'm not disappointed that... I'm a little disappointed, but I'm not disappointed that they're not going to make like a second season of WandaVision, because obviously this is just going to continue on to other movies, so I'm happy about that. Yeah. So, but Paul Bettany... I was going to ask this question. I think did we chat about this, or was this a conversation with somebody else? When was your first experience with Paul Bettany?
Knight's Tale.
Knight's Tale.
Knight's Tale, okay. I don't know. Maybe somebody...
Him and his gloriously flat butt.
Yeah, trudging. To trudge. The slow but determined walk of a man who has lost everything, but...
The best actor for Chaucer ever.
Yeah, it was...
Yeah, it was very good.
I'm sure he needed some kind of spinal reconstruction surgery from carrying that film.
Wrongfully imprisoned. You know, the only other reference to Chaucer other than like maybe some history class was The Rock. Because he quotes a bunch of people, and then Nicolas Cage says Chaucer, Archimedes, all these other people, they were all wrongfully imprisoned.
Until you said Sean Connery, I thought you meant that The Rock was quoting Chaucer.
Do you smell what The Rock is talking about with Chaucer? No? Okay.
No.
No. The movie The Rock.
The protector of Italian virginity.
Oh, God. You know what? Now I want Dwayne The Rock Johnson to do Chaucer's speech in that movie.
If you do your new character at Fest, you need somebody like the Chaucer-esque character to introduce you like every time you make a grand entrance.
That's why he has Micah.
I know
that's why I have Micah. But,
okay.
But we wouldn't be doing that until the year after next.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Since Will
is going to be back?
going to be in town.
Okay.
This year, we're going to give it one more go.
Did you guys finally remove me from the chat?
Well, I don't think so. We created a new one because remember I got
that's right.
I got permazucked.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's cool.
So WandaVision. Watch it. Yeah. It's good.
Watch it. Absolutely watch it. It is stellar
If you're
television.
here, you've already watched it.
Yeah.
So if anything, when this episode comes out, get onto Facebook, get on our Best Threesome Ever Facebook, and
Tell us what you think.
tell us what you think.
Yeah.
You agree with us?
Talk shit about us.
Hate us? Who would you want to play Mephisto?
Frank Oz.
Frank Oz? Did you say Frank Oz?
Harrison Ford.
All CG with Frank Oz's voice.
I was just thinking. Wow.
Fuck it, Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, that rumor came up this week. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No.
Ryan Reynolds is supposedly going to replace Stan Lee as all the cameos.
Wasn't that like We Got This Covered or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was We Got This Covered.
Something like
that might as well be things I wish were true and have absolutely no sources to back this up.com.
Right. I don't know if it was We Got This Covered because I remember the website.
I can actually tell you it was because I think I said something similar on the post of it.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. All right. Well, this has been Best Threesome Ever, episode 123, brought to you by Heroic Goods and Games and Jaybird Wines. I have been Nick.
I may have been Rob.
I certainly was Kevin.
All right. And with that, we will see you next time.
The views held here by the nerds of Best Threesome Ever do not directly reflect the views of nerds everywhere.